early game, controlling, dominating the pace, for example. But as we were talking about like humans, there is no such a perfect team, you know. So sometimes they're able to like do some just little mistakes, you know. For against other teams, these mistakes could be like a passing through, for example. But versus Entity7, they know exactly like this mistake here, so we can take advantage of this. We can take advantage of that. So they're like punishing these mistakes that which is very natural for any other teams, but Entity7 is like it's punishing hardly Alpha7's decision so far.
Yeah, don't get me wrong here. Alpha7's playing some great games. They're drafting some great games. Their macro and micro is tighter than I've ever seen here in the South since we've started casting here. This is a better Alpha7, a more crisper Alpha7 than we have ever seen here. But Entity7 is just on a different level here right now. This is why I'm not a pro player, because right now I'd be thinking, what do we have to do to put these guys down? We have some great drafts, great early game. All they need is a moment. They need one tiny little opportunity and they're able to turn this thing around. The last two games, it has been 90% Alpha7 and Entity7 still able, off of one victory, one good team fight, they're able to turn it around. And that just shows, like I said, I was talking before where I was saying the one thing that I hadn't seen yet was Entity7 be tested to where they're on their back foot. Are they able to hold it together? Do they get frustrated? This right here pretty much proves that they are able to keep that together, that they are able to have that maturity and that just ironclad will to understand what they need to be doing and keep that in their head through the entirety of these games here. Man, I don't even know what to say here, especially if I'm on the side of Alpha7. I mean, it's like, do better. I mean, like they've been playing some great games here. They would probably, I dare say that they probably would take like 90% of the North down here with the play style and the drafting that they've been doing here. But just right now, Entity7, they just have such a great understanding and a great synergy about this team.
Yes, for sure. Right now, they just know how to deal with anything that comes their way and strategically figure it out to make it in their favor. But let's go ahead and get into this draft right now. They're going to go ahead and ban out the Brock, Harith, and Harley on the side of Alpha7, and Freya, Zushin, and Fanny on the side of Entity7, and picking up Baxia. Solid picks, solid bans right now, and picking up that Lapu as well on the Entity7 side.
So first choice here for Alpha7 on Baxia and Lapu here, so guarantee this XP lane here for Akashi, which is a very good one. And now the second one here is picking. Oh, Joy for item bush.
Oh boy.
Very nice one. And remembering that I think that last weekend we saw a Savage coming out from Flake, right, with the playing with the Joy, if I'm not wrong.
I'm so curious.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got mobility on the side of Joy, but Baxia comes a stock with probably the most magic defense of any of the other roam / support junglers out there in the meta right now. He also has a stock anti-healing, so he's going to be able to take down a lot of the shielding that Joy provides here. I feel like this is kind of like a call out to possibly be able to take out a lot of the squishier members of the side of Alpha7 if they so choose that. But you see, immediately they both go with two very mobile, very dashy and slippery heroes on the side of Alpha7 to answer that, so that if Joy does get back to there with the electrifying beats, they're going to be able to disengage, they're going to be able to dash away from that.
Yeah, great choices here for sure. Able to get away from Joy. This is, I can never tell anymore, like, with what they're going to choose at this point, where there's so much global bans going on, especially with
cuts in life.
what they can. Oh, they're going to go ahead and pick up the chip for more mobility there. Okay.
Let's hear from the
Okay, so chip here on Vagin's hand, immediately banning CC here on the XP lane here from Hasu. So let's see if they are continuing focusing on XP lane here. So now we're seeing what is Alpha7 going to ban on the fourth choice. Sorry, considering like assuming we're still mid lane lacking here and the gold lane, so maybe they're not allowed to use carry anymore, or Claude Moskov is on Alpha7. Ooh, it's gonna be like, oh, there's still Harriet here for Entity7. It is a possibility, but Bruno,
Body suffers. Your team
Harriet
is
is oh yeah, sorry, yeah, thank you.
Man, both of these teams already started out. This is gonna. I want to say like I'm trying to like logic this down, but even at the start, what do we have at the first game? 4 marksmans out there at the same time for both of these teams. So like they showed right from the beginning that they're willing to go well outside of what the meta is. Not even just the meta, but what like we kind of consider as compositions, valid compositions for these guys, and still be successful. Here it can go anywhere. We're banning out Benedettas out there as well. I do like the chip call out though. I feel like though that could potentially give Frostlane Eve a little bit for when it comes to the teleports out there. I mean, thinking about it now, once I've had enough time, I feel like Joy maybe presents kind of the same thing that Boxia does at like a Lord fight, whereas Boxia lays down the Tortoise Puissance, you've got damage of that ticking down on the Lord. It allows you a good window to be able to get that retribution. Here, Joy, kind of the same thing. You get the electrifying beats, you have pulsing damage out there continually ticking down on the Lord. It'll allow you to be able to possibly get a good window to get that retribution, as well as Joy is able to really at a moment's notice in those objective fights turn and be able and go for some of the squishier members on the side of Alpha7. So you have I want to say a few more options that you with that mobility, but you sacrifice a lot of the tankiness that Boxy is going to have on his side to just hang out in the objective, where I think you're going to have to be a lot more careful as a Joy hanging around some of those objective pits.
Yeah, they're for sure taking their time here. They went ahead and picked up the Irithyll for even more mobility here, but they've gone ahead and chose Belric and Paquito on the side of Alpha7 here. What are they looking here for this? They're looking for a mage for Entity7.
Yeah, so I think they're not going to choose an static one like Farsa, for example, like Farsa, or oops, who?
What? It was
What?
Odette.
What? Wait,
Odette.
what?
Odette?
It's Odette. They picked Odette, but it's showing chip.
Really?
You know what? whatever. Yeah, well, this is gonna be fun.
Odette needs a little bit of a haircut, a little bit, I guess. Kind of. It's been so long out of the meta, she kind of let herself go a little bit. So.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, that here for Entity7. I mean, I was about to say like they were not going to choose an static mage, but they did the opposite. They took all that here. I have to be honest, I was expecting a Kimi, for example, here, or maybe a Lunox with the brilliance, but no. All that here to finish the composition for Entity7. So Paquito from Hasu, like to I think that they choose like to Hasu to be just a little bit of a carry here, like to cause this damage, especially with this dashing coming out from Paquito and this sequence from damage from him, and a Frostlet Nev here with Valentina to copy the ultimates coming out from Entity7. So everything is possible when it comes to this both teams here. So everybody, once again, welcome to the Land of Dawn. This is game number 3, Entity7 versus Alpha7 here, Private. Let's go.
Yeah, Alpha7 with their backs against the wall here. It is game point for Entity7. This could possibly drop Alpha7 to the lower bracket. And man, I mean, I was just saying, you can't predict the draft coming out from Entity7 right now. They are really reaching outside here, especially this Odette. I mean, I don't even know how to place Odette into this composition. Usually you like her against something like a Joy or an assassin that can close the distance on you quickly, and you punish them for getting close into you. You get a stun, you have the swan song come out, and they're not able to escape. Here, especially against the Paquito, I feel like you might be in a little bit of trouble once you go into that alt form.
Yeah, so now Alpha7 is taking this advantage about like Odette and a chip are not like varying to cause much pressure on the river, for example. So they are like doing the lizard. They stole the grasshopper on the river. So Alpha7 is taking this advantage down to get a interesting like a level up on this early game.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they should be doing. Like, I mean, I've been saying this. I mean, Alpha7, they understand the game. They understand compositions and what they need to be doing. Ooh, actually, a lot of damage coming out on to Paquito. He is going to disengage back to the tower, but it's going to open up the jungle for Hide on Bush to really start invading onto Alpha7's side here. 3 members from Alpha7 looking for some pressure at the mid lane.
Yeah, but you see that Sheen or Entity7 players are very, very disciplined, because Sheen was like, oops, okay, the first turtle, here comes.
Yeah, you saw a flicker had to come out from Akashi, so he's not gonna have that. Swan song is out. Hide on Bush, able to go ahead and pick up the first turtle. Shin running for the hills against 3 members, and even dodges an SOD coming from the top lane.
Sheen turned on the turbo here and was able to get away. Oops, in the mid lane here. Oh!
Oh yeah, look at the damage coming out. Vagin using the flicker comes in. Hasu gets taken down by Akashi. On that Lapu, that's going to be a first blood for the side of Entity7.
Here comes not the hammer, it's the big sword here from Akashi and Lapu to get this first kill and the first turtle. So, Private, I was about to say, like, in the mid lane, the Entity7 players are very disciplined, because we're not able to see Sheen like to take one more step on the mid lane. You know, like if Vagin wasn't like next to him, he plays safe. He plays under the tower. He is not allowed to play like to move forward on the mid lane, because he doesn't have the info where the Alpha7 players are. So maybe we can see in some teams some mid lanes like playing aggressive and being taken down, which it doesn't happen on Entity7's composition and player so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see how well Entity is kind of putting this together, especially with what they lack when it comes to rotation, how slow Shin is to kind of get to these side lanes to even provide some aid. You saw the offense coming out from Alpha7 in the beginning of this game to already start finding some of those invades there as well. Man, I'm kind of speechless with how well this is kind of working, especially that early engagement coming out from the side of Entity7, able to go ahead and pick up turtle from, I thought that would probably be a sure win for Alpha7, but already Entity7 really kind of turning the tables here.
Yeah, once again here like Shin and Vagin now heading for the bottom lane because of the turtle. Akashi is here like, oh, with just a little bit damage taken, but now the turtle immediately started by 2 teams. Let's go.
Yeah, they're both in a good position for this right now. You can see them trying to get the turtle on the backside. It does get pulled out. Vagin on the backside. Oh, trying to dive into the back line. Is this going to be enough for Alpha7 to pull this off? Entity7 on the backside. Shin looking for a way in. Oh, you can see out comes the Wrath of Dryad. Frostlane Eve able to find himself a kill as well. Hesu takes down Vagin. Frostlane Eve able to take down Doom. That is 4 kills for the side of Alpha7 and a turtle in their pockets.
A very fire one here now. Team fight for Alpha7. 4 players down on Entity7. Plus the tower noble one on the mid lane. I can say it here, that could be the best early game for Alpha7 at this match so far, Private.
I mean, yeah, they're doing a good job. 4-1 right now over Entity7. That last fight really kind of took a lot out of Entity7 as we take a look here at the items.
Yeah, so here now the tower number 1 here from mid lane taken down. Is seeing the item that has lost from Edithel and the corrosion sight from for Moscow. Odette finishing in the glowing wand and glowing wand here on Frost Lanevi's hand. Oh, Doom.
Ooh, Doom gonna have to use that flicker to get out of there. Hesu in a little bit of trouble there. Is gonna be able to try to get away. Akashi fighting for his life against 2 members here. Paquito on the backside. Shin looking to provide some suppressive fire. Maybe gonna throw out a little bit of a stun, some damage out there, and is gonna be able to save Akashi. He's not gonna be taking a lot of damage. Akashi really just on the front line like a tank here against Paquito, trying to fight this off. I'm getting very nervous because if Akashi engages, Shin's gonna have to back him up, and I don't know that they have protection for Shin in that type of engagement down at the bottom.
Yeah, and you know what, like here it could be worse for Alpha7 because they try a peek off on the bottom lane, like moving 3 players, which didn't happen. But now, killing spree for Hesu.
Yeah, Hesu, the damage on this Paquito, and that's only gonna get worse for the side of Entity7. Pretty soon, once you go in with that swan song on Shin, you're gonna have to deal with Hesu coming in with that immense amount of damage, the pop-up, the pushes. Ooh, now looking, a dash coming out, the 3, we have the portals out there. Wrath of Dryad comes down for the teams. Flick able to find himself a turtle up at top. Paquito finds a kill onto Hide on Bush. Now Entity7 in a bad way. They do find a kill onto Paquito, but Kashe goes down to Upakizi. Again, next on the list as the rest of Entity7 having to run back to base.
3 players more here for Alpha7 on this team fight, plus the tower number 2 on the bottom lane. Once again here, Entity7 trying to initiate versus Alpha7, especially on Hesu, which didn't work so well. No towers here so far for Entity7 in this first game. All the 9 towers is still standing for Alpha7. So the map here is going to be better for Alpha7, plus the goal lead heading almost for almost a 7K for Alpha7. Oh, here comes.
Yeah, he tried a conceal play there. Hide on Bush, able to find that out right away. Ooh, and as he even goes in for his purple buff, but gets caught by a wrap of a Dryad. Does not get taken down. Is able to go ahead and claim his purple buff though.
Yeah, so once again here, Alpha7 trying to chase down players on the bottom lane. Entity7, more than ever, they have to pay attention. They have to be careful about that situation, especially when you have Sheen not so strong with Odette here to cause this damage with the ultimate, for example, or a Doom with Iritel, which means that which needs more items to get a strong late game as well, while they have to handle the Hesu's problem, because Hesu here with the 3 kills, like leading the damage dealt ranking so far with Paquito, and the second place comes Sheen, but they have to take care about Paquito as well.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I don't even want to say it because I know I'm going to eat my words. Critiquing Entity7, because at any moment they can turn this around and come back. But I'm not seeing a lot of value come out of the Odette pick just yet. Maybe we're going to need a little bit more items. Oh, Hesu comes in, able to put that damage onto Akashe. But here, I mean, no towers for Entity7 yet. Now, going to go ahead and start up on this Lord as well, and not a contention coming out from Entity7.
Yeah, not a contention in here, like, oops, now here, hide on Bush. Upatizi. No, Doom, sorry.
Oh, Doom in trouble. 3 members. He's trying to back out, but it's not going to be enough. Flick able to claim the kill there as well. 9-2 in favor of Alpha7. Oh, a little taunt there. Latches onto Akashe. Almost gets caught. Does find the disengage. Meanwhile, I want to say hide on Bush, doing hide on Bush things. As soon as he sees that they're behind, he immediately splits off from the group, tries to get that farm up, tries to start pushing lanes and stuff like that. So he's on the opposite side of the map now. Ooh, looking. Oh, he thought about it, I think, to try to go into that mid lane and try to find Foss Lane Eve, but Flick was right there.
Yeah, so I don't think that Alpha7's okay. Now Hesu is trying to find him on the jungler. Hide on Bush now. Can't be in trouble.
Yeah, might be in a little bit of trouble here. Oh, and Hesu finds the kill onto Hide on Bush.
Yeah, so once again here, Private, I don't want to be early, but It is very complicated to Entity7 to reverse that situation here. Okay, I know that we are talking about Entity7. They can do wonderful things, but as you said, with the Odette here in this composition, which is very counterable, as we can say something like that. So man, I don't know if Entity7 is going to reverse that situation so far. So Infinity Glaive here for Odette Joying, like with the Holy Crystal and Starlium side. Meanwhile, I boxed up with the Radiant Armor here to avoid this damage coming out from Entity7 situation. So man, it's a very hard challenge for Entity7 here.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for the opening. I mean, maybe they can come in through a fight. You can already see a lot of the magic and defense coming in. Radiant Armor's picked up, Athena Shield picked up as well to really start negating a lot of the damage that Shin will be able to dish out. He has picked up an early glaive though, like you mentioned, so he will have a bit of penetration, but so far just not able to find a huge use for a lot of these swan songs, and that was what I was kind of worried about, especially because I want to say a lot of that defense is on Paquito, a lot of that defense is on Flick as well, so they're going to be able to kind of charge into the back line to try to shut him down, and that's if you're not dealing with Hesu on this Paquito, who will be able to like dive in, get the shielding he needs, and pop her up, and even interrupt the swan song coming out of her. 6 seconds until the next Lord though.
Yeah, so next Lord is heading up here on the downside of the river. So that is why I'm telling that Entity7 situation here on this third game is being very difficult. Impossible? No, because we're talking about Entity7, but still it's very complicated. One more Lord here for Alpha7. No content, no fight back here coming out from Entity7. So 10 kills, the goal lead here heading for 8k for Alpha7. Yeah, it's a very good situation one for Alpha7.
Yeah, I mean, man, I'm not even sure what you do on the side of Entity7 right now. They just continue trying to get these the layups here for inside their jungle, continue starting to get farm. You're gonna get to a moment, I mean, I feel like at this moment you're waiting for even items again. You're waiting for like that 20-minute mark. You're waiting to make sure that everybody gets all of their all of the items that they need maxed out again, and then you can have a 50-50 fight where I feel like it favors Entity7. Right now though, I feel like Alpha7 doing a good job of being able, they really took this lead that they had at the beginning and really are enforcing it. They're trying to close this down early so that they don't get to that late game, so that they don't get to that point. Well, we're in the late game, so that they don't get to that mega late game where it's more of a 50-50 shot. Oh, on the backside there, another stun goes on to hide on Bush there.
Look at Vagin, look at Vagin.
Able to find himself an escape. More down at the bottom. Is that going to be enough? Portals are out. Wrath of Dryad coming out. Frostlight E finds a kill on the Shin. Down goes Upatizi. Hide on. Bush gets traded as well. 2 down for the side of Entity7. 1 down for the side of Alpha7. Down goes Vagin. Alpha7 might be looking at their first win of the series, focusing down on the core. Down goes Doom, and Alpha7 finally able to get a win in their pockets.
Finally a happy ending here for Alpha7 on this match. Now it's 2-1 here, Zena.
Oh my god. Alpha7 finally made their domination in the early get that win. So I think they might have found the ingredient here. This might be reverse sweep. Hopefully we'll see we'll see if they can actually take it. They are actually doing a wonderful job, and I would hate to see them losing this. The way that they're able to control and take command of the game, it was always just the end that they had struggled with, and this time around they made it. So
yeah, a big difference here between the last 2 games is I feel like there wasn't any relaxation coming out from the side of Alpha7. They continued to push. They closed this down. I think what was that, the 13-14 minutes mark there, like where a lot of these other games they kind of took their time. They were safe with it. They thought they had the lead. They thought they had the game in the books. Here they knew, they understood that the most dangerous thing you can do is make this an even game. Maintain that advantage that you have over that. Maintain the kills and the gold lead that you have, and you're not going to have a problem. The worst thing you can do for a team like Entity7 is give them an even playing field to play with. And here they showed that and were able to keep that control and close it out early.
Yeah, so giving all the credits here for Alpha7 to win this third game. Besides, we discussed about like Odetti's choice coming out from Entity7, but even though Alpha7 showing discipline and a very awareness of what they can do on this third game here. So I think that the last team fight we saw this happening because there was like Vagin's a problem coming out from the back line, for example, but Alpha7 was like really aware about that situation, so they responded very good, especially from Hasu. Dude, Hasu was on fire on this game here, playing with Paquito, the hero, not the roaming. So here 14 kills for Alpha7 on this third game versus only 3. So Hasu played very well. Frost 11 with Valentina, Upatizi here with Moskov. So everyone here was on the same page for Alpha7 to get this this first victory here. So it could be a light at the end of the tunnel for Alpha7 here to maybe reverse that situation in this upper bracket final.
Yes, for sure. They are doing wonderfully here. Entity7, they were trying their best here, but for some reason they just cannot contend with Alpha7 whenever they push that early game into the mid, right? So you can see here Frostlane Evia doing his thing, helping the team and assisting. Oh.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering, like, you see these IMU swan songs coming out from Frostlane Eve. Almost feels like Frostlane Eve was actually able to use that to a better degree than Shin was, to the point that I kind of am a little questioning. I would love to understand where the swan song or where the Odette pick was kind of where they thought it would shine, because it really felt like it shackled Entity7 here when it came to the draft and when it came to pushing power from them.
Yes, an absolute domination from start to finish. Hesu with the MVP on Paquito here. 516 KDA, 61.9k total damage, and 661 golds per minute. A force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, so a well-deserved one here coming out from Hasu and his Paquito. We all know that Hasu is a very good player, a very aggressive one. But now playing with Paquito with this dashes situation and the damage that he's able to cause. So for Hasu here was really cool, and it was really good for him to play free, you know, like to play with not with this responsibility on his shoulders to get this advantage for Alpha7. So it was really good for Alpha7. It was really good for Paquito here, for Hasu playing Paquito. So this first victory here for Alpha7 it's a good choice and a good chance for them to reverse that situation here, because